Sugars. The challenge for a chemist is, can you draw the stereochemistries of all these and keep them correct as you draw the furanose, the pyranose forms, and the alpha beta anomers? It's hard sometimes to go from a conformation like a chair form in a pyranose to a Fischer projection. To make this easier, Hawthorne said, okay, I'm going to draw things like this as a go-between, as an intermediate, and it'll make the visualization of stereochemistry easier. Let's try this. If you look from the top of the ring here and imagine it's flat, it's a flat pyranose, doesn't exist that way, but imagine it's flat, then what do we see? Well, what do you see? Do you see A, B, or C? I see A. That's the Haworth projection of alpha D glucopyranose. What do you see here? A, B, or C? I think it's C. That's the Haworth projection of alpha D galactopyranose. Galactose is just epimerized at the C4 position relative to glucose. How about this one? What do you see? A, B, or C? It's C again. I switched around the labels. This is mannose. Mannose is epimerized at C2 relative to glucose. If we take a Haworth projection and imagine a hemiacetal opening to a hydroxy group and an aldehyde, but draw everything in exactly the same conformation, well, what do we see? In this case, what do we see? A, B, or C? I see B. That's the one that's epimerized at C2 relative to glucose. That's mannose. A, B, or C? I see C. That's galactose. How about here? A, B, or C? I think it's A. That's glucose. Once we've opened a Haworth projection, it's not a ring anymore, but draw it in exactly the same way. To convert to Fischer, you need to put your eye in the plane of the ring and work around from the aldehyde and ask yourself, well, is the OH on the right or on the left for each chiral center? Do that here. For that particular carbohydrate, what do you see? A, B, or C? I see C. That's galactose. A, B, or C? I think it's A. That's glucose. How about this one? A, B, or C? It's B. That's mannose. You see, it's quite hard to do this from a chair form, and it's actually very hard to do it from a zigzag form. But if we take a zigzag form to a cyclized form, and then from that cyclized draw Haworth, and then open Haworth, even perhaps without drawing it again, and put an eye on the circumference and work around, you can relate Fischer to zigzag. Don't miss out the steps, though. You'll make mistakes. In my next video in this series, I'll cover di, oligo, and polysaccharides. And the emphasis will be completely different, actually. Remembering diglyceraldehyde, ribose, and glucose. That's important. And the star of the next video on di, oligo, and polysaccharides is definitely glucose. Let's talk about that next time. Thank you for listening. I hope this helps with your studies. Bye bye.